I think we're about ready to start. Quick break, and we are back here at Hack Attack, raising money for direct relief, currently at 4,569.69, and very, very nice total indeed. Welcome back. We are just about ready to start. We've got Super Metroid Ancient Chozo, a Super Metroid hack from strizer86, and I'm very, very excited to see this one. So I'm going to turn it right over to Strizer, and you can take us away.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for having me back. Thanks for showcasing this. This is actually a hack that's a little bit close to my heart because I did kind of the initial routing. I'll go into detail once we get into the hack, kind of the story behind it and how the run came together. But I'm ready to go on countdown whenever you are, and we can get into the meat and potatoes.
Right before we do, we have a silly donation here. I'm going to try to read it out as fast as I can. We have $1.01 from 010, who says 010100100110000110011111111. Shout outs to D to the fourth.
Love it.
The time code. Yo, all right, so if you want me to count you down, you can get started whenever you're ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right, so Ancient Chozo, it's kind of under the hood based off a hack called Project Base. Project Base has been an ongoing work and hack between the community, which makes a lot of quality of life changes to Super Metroid and allows Samus to do a few things that she can't necessarily do in vanilla. So it's kind of based off that. There's a few changes above and beyond that that we'll get into as we go along. It's visually very nice. Like, it's one of the most beautiful Super Metroid hacks I think I'd played, honestly. And its layout is very similar to vanilla. So you will, if you recognize the vanilla game, like if you know the layout, if you know the bosses, if you know what to expect from the run, you're going to know what to expect. You're going to recognize the areas. You're going to recognize the bosses. So getting into what some of those changes are, there's things such as speed keep. So I can land and I can keep the momentum that I had while I was running, opposed to losing it like you do in vanilla. So that allows you to chain kind of a lot of speedy sections, a lot of speed booster sections together. You can chain speed booster. So instead of just bonking into a wall, Samus will start running again, similar to some of the later titles, and you'll be able to keep speed booster on a slope. There's an instant morph, so if you hold the left trigger button and press down, Samus will morph into a morph ball just with one press of down instead of two, like in the vanilla game. So there's kind of those. There's a backflip move as well. It emulates a damage boost, and it's actually going to be a big key point of what we're going to do right off the hop, because not only does it give you this insane backwards momentum that you can control, it actually also destroys crumble blocks, which is nice. And there's another quality of life feature you can see right there. We have respin. So we can break out of our spin and respin to kind of help along, start spin jumping in sections again, etc.
So the mechanics in this game were more like specifically tuned for going faster and for doing a few more speed tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it all chains together a lot more smoothly. We're going to see a really big time save provided by the backflip right up here. And Bomb Chorizo is indeed a boss in this game, but we're not going to see him. So using the backflip there, you can actually just get out of that room before the door closes. Fun fact, you can do that in PAL Vanilla Super Metroid because it's at the 50 hertz. You have more time to escape. So what they did with PAL Super Metroid is to make it a little more normalized. Because it's at 50 hertz, they actually gave Samus an increased running speed, but they didn't change anything else to compensate for it. So you can actually get out of that room in PAL Vanilla game before the door closes.
Oh man, I never knew that.
Yeah. Another change we'll see here, you can get crazy sideways momentum off of morph ball bombs.
That's awesome.
There's even like little things like the red door. You can see I'm opening the red door with one single missile instead of having to use a pack of 5, for example. So that's always a nice kind of quality of life thing. So one of the things that made this hack, I guess, stand out and discouraged a lot of people right off the bat is Hubbard put in a lot of very high damage spikes very early on. So you can die in the early game very easily in just a few hits. And the other thing is Spore Spawn's underwater. So you see I'm getting early supers here, and I'm utilizing a damage boost off of the enemy. And it's going to break the crumble block, because otherwise you can't get early supers as you normally would in vanilla game. So really that's what made this run come together, because there's a lot of people that are like, there's no way I'm doing an underwater Spore Spawn boss fight, like just not even having it, not entertaining the idea, right? So I found the secret to the early super missiles, and then other people actually entertained the idea and started running the category and running the game, because all of a sudden no underwater Spore Spawn. Standard, we're gonna get charge beam here. You see me morphing on the way down. You can actually make yourself go down slightly quicker if you morph on the way down. You're getting a little, I guess, downward momentum is the best way to put it. Just gonna bounce over here. We see speed keep coming in handy.
So I'm noticing a lot of these sections are like redesigned entirely. Like I have, I don't recall this particular area from the original game, and a lot of these layouts are different. This was all kind of done in the editor, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is all kind of like, although the rooms connect in the same way they do in vanilla, aesthetically they're all very different. Layout wise, they're very different. The palettes are entirely different.
Yeah, Chad is asking, what are the tools for hacking Super Metroid? Because I know there's an editor for it that I've messed around with a little bit. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Admittedly, I'm not familiar. I went through a phase where I just, like, I'd never played a hack before, and then I went through a phase where I just wanted to play absolutely every and any hack. So I don't know the mechanics behind what the tools are and how they're used, but I'm sure the resources have to be available somewhere, easy to track down.
That was some pro bomb jumping right there. That was incredibly casual. Wow, dude, Chi-Chi.
Thank you. So Morph Balls actually, the bombs function a little bit differently. The explosions are quicker, so your timing is different than vanilla Super Metroid in terms of doing that trick, but I find it's a little more generous even. And there's things like, you notice the bombs are exploding really quickly in these sections. I can force the bomb to explode by holding down, and it actually won't give me an upward boost. So you save a little bit of time because no upward boost, and you actually also get the instant detonation.
I'm really impressed with just how many cool kind of speedrun based quality of life things. Like this was clearly made by someone who really knew the vanilla game and really knew kind of what people would want out of something. It's very cool.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad that it started to actually get some life, breathed into the game and the category once we got rid of the little annoyances right off the hop. Like, it was really nice to see. Nice. I love when that room comes together. It rarely comes together, but I like when that room comes together. So similar to vanilla game, we are going to go see Kraid first.
So this kind of functions in the same way where you go around and get the bosses, and then you can unlock that statue at the end and go down to fight Mother Brain, I'm assuming?
Exactly. So you're gonna see the Golden Four. We're gonna have to kill all 4 bosses, and it's gonna be in the same order as vanilla, or one of the same orders as vanilla, because there's obviously the multiple options. But yeah, we're gonna kind of do everything that you would normally see in a standard Super Metroid run. It's just gonna visually look a little bit different. So you can do a quick kill on Kraid. It's a little bit different. You can't stop him from going to prom, as they typically say in vanilla. But as he's standing up, you can fully and wholly kill him. It takes 5 supers and a regular missile. It's a little bit tough. If you whiff any of them, you're not going to get it, but we're going to see what happens. Nice. Oh, I'm glad I could get that and show that off to everybody.
Nice job!
One of the other small quality of life things you see there, Charge Beam actually sucks in all of the drops, similar to some other other Metroid games. So nice quality of life thing there.
That's huge. Are there a lot of Super Metroid ROM hacks, or is this kind of one of the more popular ones, or?
So funny enough, there are a ton of Super Metroid ROM hacks. I forget who it was recently, but they dropped on SRC. They dropped a pack of basically all the ones on MetroidConstruction.com. And it was like over 300 or something like that.
Wow.
So whether or not those are really full flushed out hacks and, all fun is one thing, but there's an overwhelming amount to sift through. And you can sort by rating and stuff like that. Definitely check it out. Like if you're a fan of Super Metroid, definitely check it out because there's a lot of really fun hacks. Some very much in line with vanilla mechanics, some exploiting the project-based quality of life changes like this one, for example. If you're looking for a really good vanilla style hack, that's completely different in terms of layout. Super Metroid Nature is really fun, but it plays exactly like the vanilla game does. So, I mean, there's something for everybody, kind of just like the Super Mario World, right?
Yeah. Was that boost, that diagonal boost upward you did, was that not the intended way to get through this part?
You're supposed to use grapple, I believe, in this section is kind of, if you want to call it the intended way. I'm going to miss that. It's okay.
Yeah, I noticed the little grapple hook up there. That's why I asked.
Yeah, we're going to see grapple right at the very end, but we will never get grapple.
Hey, Nakakage donates $3 with no message, but thank you so much. That's a lot of medical medicine.
All right, so we're going to work our way through here. Unfortunately, we lost our Shine Spark, but it's okay. We can get that back. You can also charge in a lot shorter distance, and above and beyond keeping your speed when you land, you can charge in a very small area due to the fact that you can turn around while you're charging, and you can keep that momentum. So what ends up happening is, like in a very tight space, you can just go back and forth in that tiny space with a couple jumps, and you can build up the momentum that you need to activate your speed booster.
And that's not something that's available in the vanilla game.
Can you hit the ground again after a jump in vanilla game, you lose your momentum, whether it's going the same direction or turning around. You hit the ground and you lose that momentum. So it's a real big difference to be able to hit the ground running and actually just keep that momentum throughout the entirety of it. There's also there's no damage for using Speed Booster. Another great quality of life thing, because obviously it allows you to chain and utilize that tool a lot more effectively because you're not getting damaged every time you use it.
Was it difficult to optimize like the routing and everything for where you're going to use those boosts and what the most effective place to put them is? I would assume that's a big part of the routing for this.
I feel like the big debate early on was if early power bombs were worth it, because early power bombs let you get speed booster and things like that from the crate area in reverse. And it's a big time sink. The 1.0 version of the game actually allowed you to get early power bombs much easier and in a much different way. So it was whether or not the climb up Red Tower was ultimately going to be worth it. And nice. I can't believe I actually got that jump around.
Great. Wow.
Up to the elevator. That never happens. But yeah, it was really the debate on whether or not going out of your way that much for the early power bombs and then later backtracking was going to be worthwhile. And ultimately the conclusion was yes, in Project Base, Speed Booster is just a very powerful tool. So same thing applies for this game. You can just utilize it in so many areas and in so many ways that getting it is going to benefit you early.
I see how you did a little run left and right there to get that upward charge to rise up that vertical channel.
It really plays very smoothly. I would say players of vanilla Super Metroid aren't going to notice a huge difference right off the bat. Like all of your basic skill sets still apply. So because of that, you can definitely go to a non-vanilla style hack and still be able to navigate certain things. Moat's free in this one. There's no tough bomb jump over to see Fantoon. It's literally just one will do it.
Oh yeah, because you can propel yourself with that speed. That's awesome.
Yeah. Low percent's pretty scary in this game because when you get to Mother Brain, normally Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam does 300 damage, and that's with Varia. For some reason in this hack, if you take off Varia, it only does 195. So you can actually finish the game with a lot less E-tanks than you normally would in vanilla Super Metroid, just based on that alone.
Yeah, and that saves a lot on the routing, I bet.
It's scary. There's a stunt coyote who does a pretty low HP run of this. He was the one that really picked it up, and he's got a lot more experience than I do with project-based and Super Metroid hacks in general. So he was the one that kind of took the inspiration and ran with it, which was nice. So Phantoom's great because you can actually stun lock him. And then, unlike vanilla, you do want to hit him with a super because you can farm extra missiles.
The drops are based on what weapon you use on him?
So it provides the whole bunch of flames because he gets enraged kind of like he does in vanilla, but he does it really quickly, so it doesn't waste a lot of time, and it allows you to farm. It allows you to farm a whole bunch of ammo off of those shots.
Okay.
In addition to actually just doing significant damage to him, so it's or in most Super Metroid situations, you don't want to hit Phantoon with a super, but in this hack, it's actually really beneficial. Use a little back and forth here. So right here. We can get our jump. Might have missed it. Might have got it. Nope, we missed it. That's fine. If you get the jump out of the door, you can do this really nice mock ball along this section and then break the block with speed, and it ends up looking pretty swaggy. And another thing as well, I guess, you can moderate your up and down and left and right when you're shine sparking. So that's another little quality of life thing as well. You can adjust yourself and you can kind of tweak your height when you're going left to right or up and down, either way. But super handy. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Post Phantoon, we're getting Gravity Suit. And next up, we're going to actually have our second instance of utilizing the fact that the backflip breaks. Oops.
Yeah, the backflip was not a vanilla mechanic at all, right? That's just a new thing for this game specifically.
Yeah, it's in Project Base, and it's been used in a lot of other hacks. But what it essentially does is it takes the feeling as if you were damage boosting, and it allows you to do it manually without taking any form of damage. It's a little bonus, the fact that it happens to break crumble blocks from underneath. So we use it initially to get our early supers, and this time we're going to use it for getting plasma in the reverse and intended way. So we're going to break those blocks there.
Nice.
Come in the back door for plasma.
So this being any percent category, you're only getting the things that you actually do need.
You get a little extra E-tanks. Because of the scenario where you can take off Varia Suit and Mother Brain, I could be getting less E-tanks, but especially in a marathon setting, I'm not gonna take those risks. I mean, in a lot of cases, a pretty much low percent count would be most favorable. I was really surprised I got that Moonfall. So, like, the only other difference that you're going to see a little bit later is Torian's handled a little bit differently in this, in the fact that you not only have to deal with the Metroids, but you actually have large side hoppers as well. So ammo comes into play, and if you get unfortunate drops, it can really impact the run. So I was having this debate with Saffron earlier of, what actually constitutes low percent, because what ends up happening is you end up in a scenario where, depending on the drops, a certain amount of missiles may work one time, but it won't work the next time, for example. So where is really that fine line? What do you consider low percent? And I don't even think we actually came up to an actual answer in that. So I get what's a comfortable amount of missiles that leave me no real risk in the Turian section because I feel like there's enough supers along the way and enough regular missiles along the way that I can justify just quickly grabbing them, opposed to being left to RNG at the end.
Makes sense. We have an anonymous
I would
$10
say-
donation. That's all.
I would say, yeah, in an ideal situation, you're probably going to grab as few as you possibly could, but who knows how well that's going to serve you. That's going to be a roll of the dice right at the end of your run, right? Toon standing absolutely no chance. Oops, I actually wanted that. I tried to land right on the edge so we could keep running, but that was a little ambitious. Again, we're relying on this little Metroid. He's going to kind of help us out, and he's going to eat these little blocks.
Is that the only way those blocks could get destroyed?
That is. So if he decides he's not going to play nice, it can be a little bit frustrating. And sometimes he can get off course or lost, outside the sand, and it doesn't end up well for anyone. So one big change, actually two big changes in Dragon. You can't kill the turrets, so we're going to have to deal with these shots being fired at us the entire time. Thankfully, we can pseudo screw and avoid the damage. And Dragon is in quicksand, so there's no speed booster strats, there's no grapple strats. Thankfully, where we got plasma early, Dragon's only going to take 7 shots. I thought maybe. Dragon, please. A little bit dangerous. Whew. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating a little bit there.
Nice job.
A little bit lower than ideal, but we survived. That's the key thing. Whew.
Was there? I can't remember. Was there quicksand like that in the vanilla game?
Oh, vanilla, you can actually get a speed booster, and it's one of the most efficient ways to damage Dragon. So there's just normal sand there in vanilla. If we can get this. There we go.
Nice.
Originally, when I routed this in, I routed it in with a couple more E-tanks in mind, and then kind of trimmed it down to this. And there's a few more evident ones that I can get rid of first and foremost, but especially in a marathon setting, there's, as we saw, there's enough risk associated with this. Boost. And we're actually going to go into lower Norfair via the back. So normally one of the shortcut exits, we're going to take that in. Something really unique about lower Norfair, and I'll kind of discuss it as we go along, because it really impacted the routing, and it was, I guess, the big primary difference that changed throughout the run as it came together in the initial stages, and that is the fact that the door to Ridley has 3 separate triggers. So there's 3 different ways in which you can unlock the door to fight Ridley, and obviously each one takes kind of more time than the last. And it was weird because I started off with the one that took the longest, and then I learned about the one that took slightly less time, so I started doing that. And then I learned about the easiest one, and I was like, wow, that's kind of ridiculous. That was also close. One more block hit would have actually killed us there. And I didn't do the instant detonation. Yeah. Originally, you would fight GT. And so I would do a GT fight in my run, and nothing too unusual about that. It's required in some hacks and some games and whatnot. So originally I was doing GT, and then I figured out that there was a room farther to the left that if you killed all the enemies in this room, what would end up happening is the door would open for you. So I would visit this room by GT, and I would kill all those enemies. So that kind of became the revised route for this section. Please. And then what ended up happening is I found out that if you kill all of the enemies in this room, which is actually a little bit difficult to do, it also opens the section to Ridley. So those key hunters you can kind of destroy normally. That block down there that I destroyed in the wall, you can only destroy with a non-charge shot. And then the guy on the wall, you have to destroy using a pseudo screw. So it took a while to even figure out that it was possible to destroy everything in that room with my current inventory of items. After first learning that room was even an option. So it's really funny.
Just for people at home who might be wondering, what actually is a pseudo screw?
So a pseudo screw is when you hold down charge attack and you do a jump. It gives you invincibility frames similar to screw attack, and it gives you the ability to hurt enemies similar to screw attack as well. But it's not kind of as be-all, end-all powerful as screw attack is. But it can help you out in situations where you want to hurt things or avoid getting hurt, like we did in the Dragon fight. Space Pirates being a little bit mean. So he gave these pirates tons of damage. The echo from a diagonal Shine Spark does over 4,000 damage, which for reference, your fully powered up beam does like 900. I believe it is, or something close to 900. So those pirates actually have something like over 15,000 health. And Ridley's no pushover either. Ridley, the fight's going to be vanilla in terms of how it looks, but he has a massive health buff.
Is that something? Oh, I was gonna say, is that something you can do like in the editor, or is that like kind of an ASM hijack for the game?
Again, I'm not sure. I believe that would be probably in the editor. There's a lot of hacks that fall into the trap of making bosses difficult solely by just buffing their health pools. And a certain time it may be justified to some degree, but Ridley's tough. Ridley's tough because there's only so much you can do with him at the core of how he behaves and the room itself. So if you don't have a good idea for the room, really what's left other than just pumping up his health, right?
Yeah, we see that a lot in Super Mario World ROM hacks too. Just give the big boo 10 hits.
Yeah. Oh, I've already pumped missiles into him. Just like the vanilla game, Ridley takes double damage from super missiles. And then above and beyond that, my beam actually charges really quickly. So I'm doing quite a few hits with my beam, but you can just bait him off to the left-hand side and do vanilla-style strats until he's dead. He may have a lot more health, but he's not really any more scary.
Yo, while we're getting through this boss, I just want to remind everybody we're at $4,583.70 raised for direct relief. Keep those cool donations coming, and thank you so much for everything you guys have donated already. Exclamation donate in chat for that link.
If you guys really want to get things going, as we're coming up to the end of the game, I'm sure you guys could put together a save or kill the animals incentive. Let's yes. Just put it in your donation comments. We don't have to have any form of formalities. Put it in your donation comments. We'll see what we can get going here.
I will keep track of who is voting for what.
Oh, boof. That's a really tough Shine Spark to get, and then we bonked it. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna have time in the escape. There's also a couple of really neat tricks that we can do in the escape. There's one item that we haven't seen and is not in nearly its vanilla location, and that is X-ray. So, fun fact: in this hack, X-ray is located in the escape.
Odd.
Really odd. And the reason for that is the escape actually has sections where you kind of have to bomb and shoot your way out. So, first time in the escape, it's not shocking if you're going to end up dying. Just because you don't know where you're supposed to go. And most people see X-ray and don't instinctively grab it. Yeah, you definitely don't need it, but it's a fun little quirky spot for it. As I mentioned before, ammo is going to come into play. We are going to stop off at the ship right quick, and we're just going to fill up.
We got $5 from RB Pimlico going toward Save the Animals. Save the Animals is currently winning with $5.
Nice. I have no stake in this either way, so everyone can vote with their heart's content. We will have time to save if we need to save. We will have time to kill if we need to kill. So everyone let loose the flurry of donations. We see a neat little use of the speed keep there too, going down the shaft and then turn around using the shine spark. So other than the Dragon fight, there really hasn't been too many hiccups. We got good ammo in the Fantoon fight. We're going to see how the Torian drops are going to treat us.
We got another $3.50 from Anonymous for Save the Animals.
Pity. I'm going to bet that one's from the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster would want to save the animals, huh?
And because it's Tree Fitty. You're going to take a little bit of a safety save here on our way to Torian. Simple reason is there's, again, some danger in the Torian section, but above and beyond that, Mother Brain. I'm going to be trying to do stand-up. You can do stand-up in this despite not having as much health as you would normally need stand-up for stand-up in the vanilla game, and that's because you can do speed booster. And I don't know how many of you at home actually knew that you can do stand-up with Shine Spark, but you can.
That works in the vanilla game as well?
It technically does, I believe, but there's just no way to execute it in the vanilla game. So I believe that that trait is from vanilla. There's just unfortunately no way that you can do it because there's no way you can get a Shine Spark in Mother Brain's room in vanilla.
Dakula and Malceros are both donating to Save the Animals. Dakula with $6.90. Let's see a save with those critters. Marcellus with $11.30. Save those little guys, if only to spite Nidorific.
Yeah, Nito's definitely not a fan of saving the animals. So if you want to spite one of my mods, definitely get your money in for Save.
Well, Save is currently winning. No one has voted to kill yet.
See, it's a good time. Everyone's got their heart of gold on for charity. All right, really good ammo count. 12 supers is great. Another thing that's awesome about this hack is Baby Skip is free. Because we can just do this.
Nice.
Definitely have more than enough ammo, but I'm going to grab one extra just for fun. Skip, done in the same fashion. You have kind of a little bit of a different window because the iframes affect you differently, but still done in the same fashion as vanilla. All right, let's see if we can do it. Nice. All right, we got it.
And that was to take a little bit less damage from that beam.
So what that was doing is that actually allows me to maintain control. So coming out of the shine spark in the corner when the rainbow beam is going actually allows me to maintain control, similar to how you would do with stand-up glitch and other hacks. Normally you would do it by taking extra damage against Mother Brain really quickly, and you would have extra E-tanks to do so. But you can do it with less E-tanks in this game just by paying attention to that and using the shine spark to maintain your control. The other thing you have to be careful of is the baby Metroid actually stalls and gets stuck when you come to full health. So because you have so little health here, you kind of need to be careful and get back to a safe spot over here. Place the Metroid when your health gets full. Otherwise, you can get the baby Metroid stuck in an unfortunate position where it can't die to Mother Brain, and then you soft launch.
Jen's Orbit with another $5. Save the animals.
All right, I'm not. Uh-oh. Whew, okay. That was a thing. Oh my.
Nice.
So there's a couple ways that you can soft lock and stand up, and I almost did one of them. I was turned to the right when I was regaining control, and the game does not like that. But we got ourselves out of it. We're fine. Just a little extra spice for everybody.
Well, while you're escaping here, it is very clear, unless we get a donation of more than $31.78 very soon, it looks like Save the Animals is going to be the win.
Nice. All right. We are going to save the critters, and Canon shall remain, and Nito shall be spited.
I feel like we're a Save the Animals kind of community over here.
Really? Yoshi?
You got me there.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Yoshi's a tool.
Exactly. We're going to see if we can get a nice little swag strat going here. Depends on how comfy I am health-wise, but let's see if we can get it. Okay. So you can actually Shine Spark through the corner of that. I don't know if it exactly impacts the setup, but you can go through quite a few of them. In my practice run, I went through like 4 of them simultaneously with a Shine Spark. It's position-based, but... We are going to save the animals as per the chat and everyone's generous donations. Let's go.
Yay. Nice save.
I give the people what they want. And coming up, time.
Nice job. Great run. Really, really enjoyed that. Great run.
Thank you. It's honestly, it's a really fun hack. The scary parts have kind of been taken out of it at this point with all of the routing and how everything comes together. Like if you like Super Metroid and you want to try something different, this is one I would certainly recommend. Again, if you're looking for something vanilla, try out Super Metroid Nature if you're looking for kind of vanilla mechanics. But Metroid Construction, just there's tons and tons of hacks. So there's something for everybody. And yeah, thanks for letting me showcase it. Like I said, it's really kind of a run that's near and dear to my heart because I stuck with it long enough to overcome the early hurdles that people didn't like, and it actually, I feel like it rounded out nicely.
Yeah, this was great. I was really happy to see on the submissions form when we were scheduling this that you had submitted something that wasn't Mario. I was really hoping that we could get some ROM hacks of other games and stuff, because I know there are speedrunners that do hacks of other games. So thank you so much for showing this off. You're more than welcome to give some shout outs or let people know where to find you on Twitch or anything like that. And we've got more runs coming up, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch under the same name, strizer86. Same as yesterday. Shout outs to the whole crew at ROM Hack Races for putting this on. The event's been absolutely awesome, and I was pleased with both my runs and happy to kind of show them off to you guys. So thanks for the opportunity. And yeah, shout outs to the Super Metroid ROM hacking community as well, because there's a lot of passionate people in that community, and there's a lot of really good gems in terms of, there may be a big quantity of hacks, but there's some really good gems in there. And if anyone's looking, same realm in terms of ROM hacks, my community does a weekly Super Metroid Zelda 3 combo randomizer. So if you're a fan of randomizers, and even if you want to learn, like, hit us up. We love teaching people the tech, and we love helping people along. And it's really good. We all jump in voice chat and we just have a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for running with us. I really, really enjoyed that run. It was the one that I was looking forward to the most, actually. Sorry, everybody else. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and our next run, we're going to go back to some Super Mario World Kaizo. We've got Super Stacy World with Mr. Fink, an any percent run. After that, The Joy of Kaizo at 5:55, The Girls of Kaizo Blind Race, and at 7, Invictus, and we're not even done yet. So stick it here with us on Hack Attack, and thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.